I'm Gold Derby editor Daniel Montgomery here with Emmy-nominated production designers Francesca di Mottola from The Great, Bill Groom from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Gianna Costa from RuPaul's Drag Race, Welch from Schmigadoon, and Jeremy Hindle from Severance. You all work on such different projects, but in general, like, what's your favorite part in the process of production design? Let's start with Jeremy.
My favorite is, it's funny, I'm going to teach a class on it this year. It's story and daydreaming. Like, I like reading it, and then I like daydreaming and fighting the fact that you figure out how to do it. Like, because there's, most people, you always want to panic and go, how are we ever going to do this? It's just giving yourself the gift to read it, enjoy it, and just literally daydream everything that you could possibly daydream first without any budget, any other conversations. So just be free.
And how about you, Gianna?
Oh, I love searching for references and just going on deep dives, which is very easy for me to do. And just finding very interesting things to pull into a set, looking at currently what's going on, what happened in the past. And I have so many folders of images, it's ridiculous, but I could spend hours upon hours of finding cool references of things.
And Bo?
Some depends on the show. Sometimes I'm happiest when it's over. Very often, but in this case of Schmigadoon, what was really great was, we build this town, and because of of COVID, it was very restricted who could come in, who could come and go. And one day, the entire cast and all the core dancers came in to the set and started dancing, and that blew my mind to see. Hi, I'm waving to my wife outside. To see all the dancers, start dancing and singing, and have this huge inanimate object become so alive. Just, I wept. So that would be it.
That's nice.
And Bill?
I think for me, it's the discovery phase of the project. And you have a script, and then you start getting into it with the research and all the references and all of that, conversations with the director. And just discovering what the show is. And sometimes it'll be as simple as a sofa that just seems perfect for a particular set, or a location that seems perfect. And you don't know exactly why, but then you see the next thing that's kind of perfect, and the next thing, and then you start to say to yourself, what are these things telling me about the show? And kind of move on from there. That's the phase of it that I enjoy the most, I think.
And Francesca?
I think for me, it's all of those together, really. It's part daydreaming and part is the finding through research. So it's like letting yourself really go deep down inside the material and getting lost, and then finding what's the key to either the show or a scene, or understanding what is going to make finding the tone, or what will make that set unique. And it could be, as Bill said, it could be a sofa, it could be just a whole idea. And ultimately, what I really enjoy after this process is the collaboration with, if you get the right team. I think that for me is so special. And on this show, I've been super lucky because I felt like I've had the opportunity to sort of dive into what is for me great material, and through research find something that I cling to, and it's an idea, and then it just develops through the collaboration with the team and with everyone. So in the art department, in the set decoration, the graphics, and it all sort of comes together. And in this show, we make everything. So like the prop makers are so important, the sculptors, and that is, for me, it's like the biggest joy. It's when it all comes together, and when it starts coming together.
And on the flip side, what's the least favorite part, or if not least favorite, like the most challenging part of production design in your experience, Francesca?
So what I find quite painful is, and can be really enjoyable if it works, is location hunting. So it's just like looking and just like what works and what doesn't work, and it can be just eternal. And if you're working on a project, I mean, I've been building now a lot on this show, and equally we do have locations, but when I'm working on smaller projects and it's mainly location based, it's just like how long it just takes to it can take to find the right location. And on the flip side, when you do, it's like boom, magic.
How about you, Bill?
Sometimes it's the time involved to sort something out, and whether it's a location, as Francesca said, or just solving a problem with some other design element. But especially in television, which I've been doing now for a few years, it's time is a real issue, and you're under a lot of pressure, and to solve some very important to make some very important decisions, solve some important problems very quickly. And I would say that.
Bo?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I think time, that crunch between go and when it has to be done, that can be pretty exhausting. But and then the other aspect of time are sometimes the hours are horrible. Generally speaking, not awful, but sometimes when you're shooting in television or streaming, as we call it, and the days they keep pushing the start. By the end of the week, you're destroying your weekend. Those are horrible. You should avoid those at all costs.
Gianna?
Definitely time, also a bit of budget, being constrained with, limitations, because, for me, it's like I have these great ideas, but, within the time and within the budget, with the way a lot of reality shows are filmed, we don't have a lot of time, especially on this show, since there's a new episode every other day. But at the same time, like the stress that I get, I also like the challenge of it and trying to problem solve. So it is kind of like a balance of that. Like the mornings where I wake up going, oh my God, is everything okay? And we're going to be fine today. And then when everything's fine, it's like, okay, the release of that. But it definitely time and budget is huge stress.
Jeremy?
It's funny it's really on television. I know this is the first series I've done, and I think it's the turnaround of scripts is really trying. It's waiting for scripts. They're always, you know a lot of the ideas, but they're always so last minute that they really click, and then it is time. But that's really, to me, like in a film, it doesn't really ever happen. I always feel like we know that you have the script. It doesn't really happen that way, but it definitely on a TV series is a little, and having multiple directors can be a little trying. Some are stronger, some are weaker. But I would definitely say it's just timing of scripts.
It's funny that time is coming up with everybody, and I did features for years, and you may have a set and you're thinking, well, I'll have to have that ready in 3 months. Yeah. And you have a little time to sort of think about it and all that. In television, it's we have to have that on Thursday. It's like it's a lot of pressure there.
I'm glad that it's not just reality TV then, because I thought it was just reality TV.
No.
I mean, honestly, I think it's most people. I think I hate working a crew, like especially art department. I love everyone to do like an 8 to 6.
Right. It's like doing a commercial.
It's trying to keep people on a happy lifestyle too, and actually be really productive. No one can 14 hours. People are terrible. I'm terrible at 12 hours. I'm horrible. Everybody, like, I'd rather burn really fast for 10 hours, but a lot of times those decisions don't get made that fast.
if the sky was the limit and you had unlimited resources and unlimited time, is there something that you would most love to build or create, or like a kind of style that you'd like to work in? Bo, how about you?
No, I would hate that. I would hate the unlimited thing, because it would just be a bottomless pit of, your imagination would take you into rabbit holes of hell, and you would never get out of it. I like having the restrictions, time, money. It makes it better. And I like the tension. I like the, there's something, it's a show within a show when you're struggling to figure this stuff out and crank it out and make it happen. It's its own narrative story that can be very exciting and rewarding, or hellish. Usually it's fun. Come on, you kidding me?
Bill?
I completely agree with Bo. I remember starting out in college thinking I was going to be an artist, and I would stare at a blank canvas, and that was the most frightening thing. And when I discovered theater and had a script in my hand that said that they need to come in the door and down the stairs and whatever, it was so great for me to have that kind of structure. And that's what I loved about it. And I still like that. I do like the limitations that are set, and the opportunities that are in front of you with the script.
Francesca?
No, absolutely. I think if you've got limitations, you know what you're working to. But I mean, if I had a dream project, it would be something that, I mean, I trained for theater, so I just love the idea of sort of moving walls and worlds opening into other worlds. So sort of a show that that allowed you to design for different worlds, or going, I don't know, I have something in my mind, maybe I need to write it, but yeah, a moving set, or I'm sure it's been done and it's in my mind somewhere.
Jeremy?
I mean, it's the same. I think, we work in a collaborative process with so many people. I think you would never get anything done. I mean, I've done a million commercials. I've done $20 million movies and $150 million movies, and they're never, you just run out of time no matter what. If you're with the right people, no matter what, it is really fun. And I think for me, it's just picking the right people to work with, not just your crew, but it's picking the right director to work with to me is the most important. That's all I think about. And if I'm in sync with them enough, and we don't have to be together, we can like fight and battle it out. But I think that's the goal, is to be with the right people. And then everyone has good etiquette about how to manage the time and how to push each other to make something great. And you need to start shooting eventually.
And Gianna?
I personally need restrictions and structure, or else, well, not necessarily structure, but the limitations, or else I'll never get anything done, because I get easily distracted by a million different ideas. But I would love to work more in a scripted environment where like different period pieces, and again, to get lost in something. Reality TV has its limitations with some sets. The reason why I love Drag Race is because I do get to do a version of like scripted shows on these different sets. But I would love to do like period pieces, or just get immersed in history and that kind of world.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining me today for this discussion, and for talking to me individually and together as a group about such different projects and such different creativity. And congratulations again to all of you on your Emmy nominations this year. It's been a pleasure.